Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Yeonni, and yes, I finally have a new camera. I know you can tell. This is my Canon EOS M6, which I will be making a video about in the future, but that's not this video, so let's bring it back. This week's video, I really wanted to talk about the concept of self-care. Self-care is a concept, a theory, a lifestyle, a pursuit that I talk about a lot on my channel, and not only on my channel but in my everyday life, because it's something that I feel like is so important to our happiness and our health and everything. So I wanted to dedicate this week's video to really getting deep into what self-care really is, in the hopes that you might hear something that can kind of help you see it in a new light and apply it to your own life. So let's just get straight into the video. What is self-care? So self-care can be described as activities or practices or things that we can actively take part in on an everyday or on a more routine basis to maintain happiness and well-being in the short term and in the long term. So basically things that you do actively for your own happiness and to manage stress and to be happy and fulfilled in your life. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the 5 dimensions of self-care. I got this information from the Gottman Institute. It is a mental health institute that does a lot of research on relationships, mental health, on self-care, and just emotional and relational well-being of humans. So if you want more information on that, I'll leave like a link down below so you can check it out for yourself. But yes, I came across this article called The 5 Dimensions of Self-Care. Physical dimension of self-care has to do with your fitness routine, your sleeping routine, managing stress levels, and even going to medical appointments. These are all parts of this kind of self-care. Did you know if you're really stressed to the point where it can become chronic stress, you can have heart disease. It can lead to actual physical ailments of your body breaking down if you are too stressed. So stress management and sleeping well, having an active lifestyle. When was the last time you went to the dentist's office? For me, it was like a year ago, so I should probably go back because I think the recommended timeline was like twice a year, so I gotta go back. But things like that. Take care of your teeth, take care of your body. Go to the gynecologist if you're a woman. Make sure you're getting everything checked up, that your body is working functionally, everything's fine. This is all a part of actively taking care of yourself. The second dimension of self-care is intellectual self-care. I love this one. It's just really inspiring and gets me really motivated for life. But intellectual self-care is all about your personal growth. It's all about things that inspire you, that motivate you, this like educational pursuit, engaging in new things, practicing mindfulness, and just having a positive outlook on life. This educational pursuit, right? You don't have to be in school to be learning things. I think having like a curious mind and just wanting to know new things can be a very healthy thing for your mind and for your lifestyle. And mindfulness, you could ask, what is mindfulness? So mindfulness is another one of these like therapy psychological terms that talks about being aware, like being present where you are. I think if you do a lot of yoga, a lot of meditation, mindfulness is a concept that's very much in tune with those kinds of activities, where we're so entrapped in our thoughts at times that we are just everywhere but here, right? Like I could be sitting here right now, but my mind is, I have dinner plans with my friends later, and we haven't decided where to eat yet. So honestly, my mind is over there right now. So mindfulness is all about just bringing it back to where we are right now. I'm sitting and kind of really trying to feel present in the present. And with intellectual self-care, having a positive mindset I think is very important, because when I say positive, I don't mean unrealistic. I'm very realistic. I like being logical. I like having my feet grounded in reality, but also I have this side of me that's very like the lens that I want to view the world in, like the perspective that I want to come in from is from a positive place, where I want to strive for positivity, I want to strive for happiness. And I think that's just the part of the intellectual self-care, because it makes me feel better. I feel like if I was too realistic all the time, then I would just kind of be a sad person. I think being positive, kind of picking myself up and just trying to put on a smile and a happy personality. And sometimes I can't do that. Obviously, you're human. You can't always be happy. But waking up every day, choosing to be positive, choosing to really appreciate each and every day and be mindful and be present has really helped me to be happy and to feel fulfilled in even the smallest things. The third type of self-care is social self-care. Social self-care is all about people, all about the social circles that you're in, having people around you that support you, that lift you up, that empower you, that give you strength, that give you this sense of belongingness. Now, this one can be a little difficult for us because everyone, whether me or you that's watching, we're in different parts of our lives with different people in our lives that have come in and come out. Having social self-care is definitely something that I also can strive for and I am working on. I have a lot of social anxiety. My social anxiety keeps me from being open. I can be open to an extent, but there are times where I just physically am afraid of leaving the house, and that has definitely gotten in the way of me having this social lifestyle that sometimes I wish I could have. But I've come to terms with my anxiety. I know how to handle it, how to live in spite of my social anxiety. So this social part of social self-care is something that I really, really want. And who says I can't have it? You know, it's all of that, it's that mindset coming back again. I know for the longest time I struggled with having good friends and maintaining friendships because I'm not trying to be this victim role here. It's like, oh, I have anxiety, so like everyone else sucked and they didn't like take care of me because of whatever. Because of my social anxiety, I don't think I was ever like the greatest friend. Like I wouldn't be a bad friend, of course, but there were times where I definitely put myself first and kind of shunned people away because I just didn't want to deal with them because of my anxiety. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there were times I used my anxiety as an excuse because I just didn't want to be around people. And I got so comfortable just making excuses because of my social anxiety. So bringing it back these past few years, I've been really, really learning to not let my social anxiety dictate my social self-care. I want to have that environment of people around me who accept me, who give me this sense of belonging, who empower me, who make me happy. And it sounds like it's all me, but in those relationships, I want to give that to others too. That kind of give and take between friendships and relationships is what I crave. So I am definitely working on it. It's so hard. We're meant to be social creatures, but when you have anxiety, it's just, you just want to be cut off from the world, but you don't want to be cut off from the world. Just so confusing. The fourth dimension of self-care is spiritual self-care. It involves the beliefs and values that guide your life. This can be anything. For me personally, spiritual self-care is me being a Christian, is reading the Bible, which I have not done. I also need to work on this. There's so many dimensions, so many things to worry about, but it just shows that it's good to make goals. And my goal this year is to really, really work on my spiritual self-care. As a Christian, there was a time in my life where I was really good at this spiritual self-care. This was the only thing I focused on, but then every other aspect of my self-care I didn't. Like physical self-care, I didn't care. Social self-care, I used my anxiety as an excuse. I just relied only on my spiritual self-care, which was great, but also did not make me a well-rounded person. So I believe all these dimensions, trying to focus on each of them can really make you into a well-rounded and happy person. So spiritual self-care, I don't know what that would look like to you, whatever your spiritual alignments are, I guess, just kind of being in tune to that and see, maybe, am I in it too much, or should I be more involved? Is this something that I want to be involved in that will make me more happy and more fulfilled? Those are some questions that you could have about spiritual self-care. And last but not least is emotional self-care. This one. Emotional self-care is all about just being attuned to our feelings and how we are perceiving the world, being able to self-reflect on how certain things make us feel, you know? Whatever your identity is, if you feel like you've been told that you're not allowed to cry, you're not allowed to show emotions, this is the dimension of self-care that tells you, no, showing emotions and being true to what you're feeling inside can really help you to reflect and to grow and to feel happier. Keeping it all inside, putting on a fake smile, trying to like hypnotize yourself into thinking, nah, this isn't how I'm feeling, I'm actually not, I'm okay. Like sometimes we're just not okay, and a lot of the times it's just gonna be how it is. Another part of emotional self-care has to do with stress. Stress is a very big part of these dimensions of self-care because stress kind of ruins everything in that sense. So emotional self-care talks about dealing with stress in a positive manner. It's all about, in the moment when something's stressing you out, being able to kind of collect yourself, mourn if you have to mourn, cry if you have to cry, process those emotions, but then get back up. You know, like, you deserve to not be on the ground all the time. Does that make sense? Pick yourself up, learn from the mistake, and get going. You know, stress can be productive. It can help you to see new things that you've never seen before, experience new emotions that you've never felt before. It's all about this lens that you view the world in. So dealing with stress positively can really help you to be more fulfilled. The last spiel about emotional self-care is being able to view yourself and others in a kind and compassionate way. That's where self-love comes in, another thing that I talk about a lot and I struggle with a lot. Like today, I wasn't gonna make this video because I was just not feeling myself. I've gained some pounds recently. I think it's all the stress, so I've been eating. So, you know, I'm making this video for myself as well, as you can see. I wasn't feeling myself. I didn't like my hair, my makeup, what I was wearing. I just really was hating on myself these days, and I still am. I'm not gonna pretend like miraculously now that I'm making this video I'm like, oh, better. No, I'm not. I struggle with loving myself a lot. It's easier for me to show it to everyone else but me. I always say my purpose in this life is to show compassion to others and to help people. And that has come from a spiritual perspective where I'm a Christian, and I feel like that would be the most worthwhile way of living this short lives of ours, to help others who are suffering, who are less fortunate than I am. I feel like even if I wasn't Christian, I would want to live that way because there's just so much suffering in the world, and I've always been so attuned to the suffering, and thus, on the other hand, very attuned to my privilege and how I am so privileged to be living the life that I am. So to me, to be in social work or in this kind of helping profession, to help others, to show compassion, to show kindness to that homeless man on the street who's been begging every day for the past 3 months and no one looks at him, to buy him a cup of coffee, to get him a warm croissant, just to ask how his day was. That is what makes me feel fulfilled. It's harder for me to show that kind of kindness and compassion to myself. That is something I'm really working on. It's a huge part of emotional self-care, where you try to love yourself, where you try to accept yourself as you are, and understand that you're a work in progress. So I always believe I have to love myself first before I can show true compassion and love to someone else. Oh, and it's so tough. It is so tough. It is a work in progress. It is all these things that I just mentioned. So that is my video on self-care and my little spiel on self-love at the end. I hope that this video was able to help you in any way possible. That's why I'm here. You know, I already said I made this YouTube channel because it's fun. You know, of course, I love doing this. But also, if anyone out there can hear the words that I have to say and can be able to feel even a little bit uplifted, you've made my day. Seriously. So thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Please check out my channel. I make all sorts of different kinds of videos. I make a lot on these kinds of self-care, mental health, social justice videos, and I just have too many interests, so every other thing that I feel like making a video on is also on there. So please check it out and subscribe if you like what you see. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.